We're all taught that money is this ultimate tool, right? Something you use to build the life you want. But what happens when that tool starts to have a mind of its own? That's what we're digging into today, this hidden psychological risk that comes with wealth, that exact moment when your money starts owning you.
And that is the core warning, right there. It's such a subtle shift you might not even see it happening. The very thing you've worked so hard for starts calling the shots, telling you what to do, how to spend your time, even who you are. So let's really break down how this flip happens.
Okay, but before we go any further, we have to be super clear about what's really on the line here. We're talking about your psychological assets. And no, this isn't about numbers in a bank account. This is about your inner peace, your personal freedom. The ability to just be yourself and make choices that feel right to you. These are the things we've got to protect at all costs.
So let's picture someone just starting out on this journey. For them, money is pretty straightforward. It's a tool, right? You use it to build a comfortable life, create some cool opportunities, see the world. The relationship is totally healthy. Its job is to make life better, not to be the whole point of life.
But then something starts to change. It's subtle at first. This is where the whole thing starts to warp. That simple, helpful tool, well, it slowly, quietly starts to feel a lot more like the one in charge.
And you can see just how clinical this becomes. Think about it. A hobby, like painting, something you did just to unwind, suddenly gets looked at through a new lens. What's the ROI on this? Well, there isn't one, so poof, it's gone. Or what about just hanging out with your family? That spontaneous time? Nope, too inefficient. Now it gets replaced with quarterly scheduled check-ins.
And that right there, that's the core of the problem. Life stops being something you live and starts being a list of transactions you need to optimize. Every single hour, every little thing you do gets put on a scale and weighed against its financial return. And pretty soon, that real, genuine joy just gets squeezed out by this constant nagging need for efficiency.
Well, that path leads directly into what you could call the optimization trap. And this is the danger zone. It's the point where you completely give up personal control, and sometimes you even do it willingly, and your psychological assets are seriously at risk.
Yeah, this blind lust for more, it's like a hijacker. Literally, it storms the cockpit and takes over the controls. That original goal of using money to build a great life, it's gone. It gets totally replaced by this robotic, never-ending drive to just get more. At this point, your identity isn't just being influenced, it's being held hostage.
Okay, let's look at a real-world example. Here's a calendar before the hijacking. See all that white space? That's not laziness. That's freedom. That's autonomy. The plans in here are about being human. Dinner with Sarah, walk in the park. Life fits into the calendar, not the other way around.
And here's the after. Wow. Now, life is being shoved into the calendar's tiny boxes. Every single slot is a color-coded demand. Portfolio review, deal synergy call. All that personal stuff? Gone. Replaced by this rigid, scheduled prison. Sarah and that walk in the park? They've been optimized right out of existence. So, looking at this, you've really got to ask yourself, who is actually in control here? Is it the person, or is it the system they built? It's pretty clear the schedule itself is the master now. Personal freedom? Completely gone.
And this is the crazy paradox of the whole thing. In this obsessive quest to get total control over their financial assets, this person has ended up with the complete opposite in their actual life, a total loss of control over their time, their happiness, and even who they are.
But wait, it doesn't have to go down like this. Not at all. Let's completely shift gears and look at someone else. Someone who's also successful, but chose a totally different path.
See, this person gets it. They've seen the danger. So instead of letting that efficiency obsession take over everything, they intentionally make time for things that have one single purpose: to restore them, to bring them joy. It has nothing to do with productivity.
Just imagine this: an afternoon spent just reading a book. But the real magic is in what's not happening. Their phone isn't buzzing with stock alerts. There's no app tracking how fast they're reading. And they're not feeling any pressure to write up a summary to be efficient. The only goal here is enjoyment. The output, if you want to call it that, is inner peace. They are actively investing in their psychological assets.
So really, it all comes down to a defining choice, doesn't it? Is the system you're building a framework that supports a better life? Or is it becoming a prison that's trapping you inside? It really boils down to two completely different mindsets. First, you've got the liability mindset. That's where wealth becomes the framework, and you have to bend and shape your life and your identity to fit inside it. But then there's the leverage mindset. Here, you are the framework. You start with a strong sense of who you are, and wealth is just a tool you integrate into your life to serve that identity.
And that's really the key takeaway here. The happiest, most successful people, they get this distinction. They use their wealth to leverage who they already are, to amplify their values, their passions, their relationships. They use money to become more themselves, not to let it define themselves.
So that leaves us with one last, really important question to ask ourselves. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. Take a hard look at your life, at your calendar, at the choices you make every day. Is your money a tool that you are using, or has it become a tool that is using you?